Every night, a man would bathe his paralyzed wife. But tonight, just as he finished running the bathwater, his foot suddenly slipped, causing him to hit his head on the vanity and pass out cold. The wife, lying helplessly in the tub, was filled with despair. The faucet was still running, and she watched in horror as the rising water level crept up to her neck. Paralyzed from head to toe, she was powerless to do anything. It dawned on her that if this continued, she would soon drown. Pushed to the brink, she knew she had to act. Placing her hope in her right foot, the only part of her body that still had some sensation, she tried to reach for the drain valve at the bottom of the tub, but her paralyzed body had no strength. Unwilling to give up, she kept trying. With every ounce of effort, she finally managed to pull the valve open with her foot, but only halfway. The water was draining far too slowly to keep up with the flow from the faucet. As the water level neared her nostrils, the woman frantically tugged at the valve again with her foot. To her dismay, not only did she fail to open it further, but she accidentally snapped the fixing chain at the top. Desperate, she pinned her hopes on the shower head at the bottom of the tub. Mustering all her strength into her left hand, she attempted to move the shower head to control the flow of water, but it was agonizingly slow. The steadily rising water gradually submerged her. Refusing to surrender, she decided to give it one last shot. In that critical moment, she gathered her strength and yanked. Although successfully twisting the knob slowed the water flow, the relentlessly rising water still left her in dire straits. Determined to break free from this deadly trap, she slowly extended her foot out of the water. Then, with renewed force, she slammed it down on the drain valve. At last, she knocked the valve open. As the water level gradually receded, she narrowly escaped with her life. To her astonishment, she discovered that after this brush with death, her paralyzed body had miraculously recovered. But there was no time to celebrate. She immediately gripped the edges of the bathtub with both hands and tried to sit up to check on her husband lying on the floor. Strangely, he was gone. Staring at the crimson footprints on the floor, a chill ran down her spine. She couldn't understand why her husband didn't come to her rescue if he hadn't actually been unconscious. She recalled what a friend had told her a few days ago, that her husband might be having an affair. It appeared this was an elaborate murder plot he had concocted to kill her. The realization sent her into a panic. Desperate to thwart her husband's sinister plan, she struggled to crawl out of the tub. With her body not yet fully recovered, she could only rely on her upper body to slowly inch forward. Driven by an intense will to live, she managed to stand up and reached for the phone to call the police for help. To her horror, she found that her husband had already ripped out the phone line, making it impossible to get through. Just then, a dark shadow suddenly appeared through the crack under the door.